you know how I feel. Ooh. Ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel.
2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay. You know how I feel.
Okay, so I'm hoping to God
You know how I feel.
that you guys can hear me. All right, if you can hear me, let me know. It looks on my end that you can. But I'm going to wait 9 seconds because that's about the delay here. Oh, okay. All right. For all three of you that are here, thank you for staying with me. I did this stupid thing and I updated the software right before I started streaming, and I think it knocked everything wacky. So I apologize for that. I had to restart my computer a couple of times, and I'm really sorry for that. I was not expecting a big crowd tonight because this is, as I mentioned, this is the most unadvertised class probably ever. But I could use this class. I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to. Okay, all right, cool, Carla. All right, well, for those of you that are watching, I'm never this late, and but I'm not an expert at this kind of thing, and sometimes these crashes happen, and I don't know what to do with them. I want to tell you though that I've had one of these days where, and I think I'll be talking more about this later, but I have just had one of these days where I have just been in this sort of super deep, heartfelt place of gratitude. And I don't know what I dreamed about last night. I don't know what led to this, but I have just been in this super grateful space. And I've been wondering about gratitude and speaking and how those two things may relate. And I do think that I do think that there is something to the effect, or that is powerful about spoken gratitude. And so I just want to make sure, that everyone knows how much I appreciate this class, how much I appreciate the artists that I play, like the music artists that I play, how much I appreciate Tara being here, how much I appreciate having this house provided for me. And I am so grateful. Today's, this doesn't happen to me on the regular, but today I've just been so grateful for all the artists out there. And I have a big, broad definition of art, but for me, art is when you apply creativity to something. That's about, the limit of it. And today I've just been so grateful for artists, for people that weren't sure if they should, but they did anyway, and the people that knew that they should and they did it anyway. And just there's something to be said about, I don't know, I guess as an artist, I just want you to know, thank you, I'm so grateful. It's like every time I get on SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter, there's some super awesome famous musician that I've never heard of, and so I'm just so grateful to all the artists out there, and I mean art. Just anytime you apply your creativity to something on the regular, then that qualifies for me. All right, so we're going to jump into class, and I apologize for the super late start. It would be a sad place without art, I think one of the things that got me thinking about this is I'm bringing my podcast back, which is a totally separate endeavor from you guys, but I'm bringing my podcast back, and I was listening to the one on creativity. It was I think I called it Go Mighty, or Be Mighty and Go Make Art, and I really appreciated the vibe of it, that, I don't know. We really need to tell these kids and ourselves over and over and over again that the pinnacle is not always the goal. There doesn't even have to be a pinnacle. Your creative journey could be completely pinnacleless, right? That's not the point. It's not, creativity is not achievement. And the validity of it and the worthiness of it is not achievement. That stuff gets you noticed, but there's plenty of beautiful, wonderful, unnoticed art out there and unnoticed artists. In fact, that's probably 90%. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I apologize for this super wonky start. Sometimes things just happen. Tara is not joining us tonight. Sends love. Oh, I forgot to. Oh man, it's gonna make me reset everything. Okay, sorry y'all. Hold on one second. Y'all, I'm so sorry. This is so janky. When my software updated, it reset every single setting I have apparently, and I'm really sorry. Okay, there we go. Finally. Breath in breath in. Audible breath in. Open, open. Audible breath in. No matter what you do in life, no matter what activities you enjoy, you have a creative side put there genetically, evolved to help you stay alive. And it's a powerful energy because it can help you think of things you've never thought of before. In some ways, creativity is the ability to pull things out of thin air. To pull out of thin air a solution to a problem between groups of people. To pull out of thin air a solution to cooler temperatures. Audible breath in. I think we try to contain creativity too much. Because the creativity that you feel in your hoop is creativity. It's the same energy. Your ability to create and open new pathways in you. It's the same energy away from the hoop. Open, open. If someone ever shut you down creatively, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, too many times we shut pathways down because some asshole was an asshole. Reopen those pathways. If you like the way you sing, then sing. If you write the way you write, then write. Audible breath in. I don't know why being grateful fills me with so much energy. Like it feels like to be grateful, I'm giving out energy, but it fills me up. I'm grateful for the people in my life. Audible breath in. Okay. All right. Okay, as I mentioned before, it's just me tonight in here. That's why some of the cameras are a little bit weird or not moving because there's no one to include other than me. And we're going to move into our first exercise. And we were going to talk point. So I think this deserves, Dorothy in online commented that it would be cool if we had maybe if we talked a little bit about how to pick the hoop up if you drop it or whatever. And I think that she was like, she said it wouldn't be a full class obviously, but like if we could include some things. So I'm not doing that right now because I will give it a better shot than this, but I just thought, let's just pepper them in now. One of the most old school, and it works with kids a lot, is the sort of magic floating hoop trick. Right, and this is just like Flow One. This is completely sold by you working your hands on it. So my foot is on this. We'll use bird's eye for this. My foot's here, and I just roll it back to me. Boom. Okay. No, with sock feet, this is kind of a tough move. Okay. So for our first exercise tonight, what I thought we would work with is going from rolling to samurai and rolling to samurai. This is our foundations class, and I'm going to be super quick about this. This is rolling. The hoop is just rolling around, right? Now, we talked last week about this more in detail. If you dig any of this sort of stuff, you can go find last week's class. But this is rolling, and then anytime I apply a grip, that is samurai. Boom, boom, and there's a lengthy explanation for that. And so what we're going to play with in our first opening exercise tonight is just keeping it super simple, but going with rolling, samurai. Boom, boom, rolling, samurai. Boom, boom. And I'm going to be talking to you a little bit, of course, to keep some inspo going. Now, the reason I picked this track is there's lots of stops. And when you want your hooping to, or not when you want to, but one of the ways that your hooping can really, really take off and be awesome for you is listening to the beat. And when it comes to rolling and samurai, like when you can anticipate the beat just enough, then you can hit it with grip. And then when you're in that, and I'm back into rolling, or whatever version of rolling, right? Like it could be behind me, beside me. I could be doing that move that we did last week. Then I put samurai on it, right? And I'm using samurai to isolate the hoop, but I wouldn't have to, but mostly, I guess 80% of the time, that's probably what you're doing. Probability. creative, you don't have to embrace the latter. You don't have to embrace this idea of achievement. And you can be super creative and doing very, very boring stuff. And that's the beauty of looping, right? Oh, Dorothy, you're here. Sweet. I'm so glad that. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you got to see. I'll throw a couple more of those, but I'll hit it legit. But you see what I mean? Like this isn't impressive. Nobody cares. But it's teaching my body like how to hold the hoop and grip it. Thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up. And I think when I'm 95, my brain will appreciate having had to learn this. So I'm rolling. I go into samurai grip. Working on this isolation. Remember, anytime I'm isolating, the back of the hand becomes really, really important. So what holds the hoop, it's like one half of your hand, one side of your hand is the front half of you, one side is the back half of you. And so when I'm going into isolation, I'm going to pay attention to the back hand, right, as it goes in there and just get used to that feeling. Because that hand is actually what's holding the weight of the hoop. Okay. Water break. All right. Sweet Dorothy, I'm glad that you are here watching some of these. I don't know if this one really should count as a move, but do you see how I've got the hoop? This is not a very good one, but you see how I have the hoop on, like my foot is underneath it here. I can put this foot here and come up and whip it up that way. Some people, can make it look a little bit better, but I'm here, and so let's say I want to bring it up, boom, boom. And of course my foot already has to be under it, and that's usually like the hard part. Is getting, like, once the hoop is dropped, is getting underneath it in some slick way. I'm going to show you the kickstart and then a couple more exercises, but okay. Wait, no, that's not the one. Okay, so tonight, I'm kind of going to hop all over the place, but I want to talk a little bit about palm spins. And we're not going to go for the Guinness Book of World Records with these, but they do open up things creatively. And so I'm holding the hoop here. What I tell my students is, like, imagine that this is an elephant trunk, right? Like my hand is this elephant trunk, and just inhale through the elephant trunk, just inhale through your wrist. And so I just, like, energetically pull the hoop towards, my wrist, and then give it a spin. Boom, boom, boom. using a 38, 5/8, I think is what it is. And then other ways that I can feel the palm spin is to just keep the hoop on the ground. Feel it moving around the hand. And you can kind of develop some cool like finger twirling and that sort of thing. I don't know if you can see it in the replay. You might be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm rolling the hoop between my fingers. All right, so I'm gonna lay off the microphone. I'm gonna lay off the microphone, but I'm gonna demo some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Can do these kind of palm spinny type hops, and again, this is one of those things where they might feel creative. They're not so much fun for the audience to watch, but they feel good. And so I'm just tossing the hoop to the other side, right? It seems really simple, but what it's teaching me with this throwing hand is how to twist the hoop to start to get momentum on it, like I'm twisting it out in like deep space, way up there with zero gravity. Sweet, Callie. Good to hear from you. So, this is a Thursday night. This is Foundations class. We're keeping it super simple tonight, but this is maybe not so simple, but will maybe be a helpful way to open some doors. So once I have this palm spin down, right, then I can add a toss to it, and that will create a full toss, right? And so like if we do something super simple, like I'm gonna hold the hoop in my left hand, and I'm gonna pull it back towards my right shoulder here, and I'm gonna grab it here, boom. All right, now I'll do it the exact same way, just so you can understand each time, but I'm holding it with my left hand, but I'm gonna pull it and catch it with my right hand, right? Okay, now where this can get cool is if I put palm spin on it, right, as I'm throwing it, then it folds over me, right, and that's kind of cool. And so I'm spinning it towards the hand that's going to be catching. Boom. Boom. I don't know if it would matter. Okay. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, and we're going to totally change the vibe now. We're going to give our arms a break, and we're going to go to waist hooping. And we're going to use the two sort of off-body and on-body things to sort of help push the limits of each one. So I'm going to hop on the waist now. Here's what I'm going for. Groove. I want to just feel groovy.
Can someone please open up my eyes? I need to make it right. I had all these questions hanging around my mind. Oh, it never ends, but deception is fighting me all the time. I've lost my way, can't seem to change.
Use this chance to give the arms a rest.
Too strong, is it too late? I am running away.
Audible breath in.
Now hear me shout. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong?
We're going to open this to both currents.
Where did I go wrong?
Waist, legs, shoulders, wherever you want to go. If you want to come up to the shoulders, you come up. We're going to do a good old-fashioned long core hooping exercise. Core hooping, top of the head to the bottoms of the feet. Anywhere on there, but not the arms. Doing angle hooping to house music. It's fun, right? Because angles usually depend on just a steady up and down rhythm. And if I'm just following the beat of this house, this music, my knees are bouncing. That's moving my whole core. Lifting the back of my heels up. I'm lifting the back of my heels. Oh, you can't see it, but you don't have to, but if you do want to achieve an angle, you go from a bounce, which is what we're doing right now. That's going to create earth or sky, right? And then you start to go into sort of a candy, what do they call it? Like that. Oh, I forgot what it's called. You're going to wrap around to create the flat plane. And then if I bounce again, I'll create the angle. Gosh, I can't believe I can't remember what this is. It's like, I've never had one before, but it's like sugar that you whip around a stick. And then I'm gonna wrap. That's gonna flatten the hoop. And then I bounce again, and it's gonna angle the hoop. And it's the same coming up, by round. Okay. Well, I'm sort of feeling all over the place tonight. I don't really know. I think maybe we'll do a little practice with breaks and paddles for our last full exercise. We might go a little bit late. I really apologize for late starts. Sometimes things happen. These are breaks. I'm breaking the momentum of the hoop. These are paddles. I'm assisting. I'm moving the canoe. The paddle motion goes with the current. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Bird's eye. Even if I'm on the waist, my pushes are going to be, well, that's not such a great angle for this. It'll work a little bit better with shoulders, but I don't know if you can tell, but while the hoop is on my arms, I am trying to paddle it the same direction. You know, if it's on my shoulders, you can kind of see this a little bit more obviously. Do you see how one hand is pushing away and towards that sort of sunset? And one hand is pushing towards the same sunset, right? So like this hand, this is my second tree, is going towards it. This hand's also going towards it. And that's really how you can understand paddles and breaks, is that a paddle is going with the current. You're trying to keep it going. I mean, maybe you're putting it to sleep, but for the most part, you're trying to keep it going. All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit while we're playing this song. And this is one of my favorite breaks and paddle songs. Since we have some advanced people here, I know, we'll just throw a little advanced move in, maybe. I don't know if it's advanced. But you can have one hand come up on top and one can come into the bottom and then interlace the fingers, and you can do kind of like a sort of funky like cradle break that way. I don't know if you see, my hands are interlaced and I'm holding the hoop there. Right now, my right hand is inside, my left hand's outside, but it could just as easily be the other way. Oops, I forgot to let it, if you don't let go, you can't paddle out of it. Interlocking fingers isn't your jam, you could just do palm to palm. You can make it look, you know, whatever your style is, you can make it look like that. This is palm to palm. These are sticky breaks. This is where I'm just keeping it in that place and going back and forth. on breaks. Don't forget about wrap breaks. That's kind of like where a paddle becomes a break. I push it and then my fingers wrap over it at the end to sort of stop it. This is a sticky wrap break. Anytime for me that I'm doing sticky stuff, it really needs to be quick turns, no matter what it is, because it just looks better the quicker my whole body is turning. If you guys have any questions or any insights, anything, I appreciate it. Jennifer, I'm glad you like them. Jackie, I'm glad you like this sort of class all over the place. So since we're sort of all over the place, let's just embrace it. So right now I'm going back and forth. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just swooshing the hoop right across me here. And then I'm going to hold less and less of it so that I'm just, it's kind of going in like in the handshake kind of way, but not really making grip. And then when I get it over here, I'm just going to let it kind of turn into a pivot point and start to bounce. And then I want to try this move where I let it roll, where it rolls in front of me. Comes across, rolls, I dip a little bit. I don't want to dip too much because I don't want to make it too awkward, but if your hoop's not big, it's probably an easy move. Now, if I start to add that same sort of move to knocking, then I can actually start to do some really cool stuff. And I'm going to show you kind of what this looks in bird's eye. So I don't know if this is one of these things where it'll be really easy to see what I'm doing, because it does go kind of quick. But basically what I'm doing is that when I want to send the hoop into the core, I'm either putting some backspin on it or putting some forward spin in it. And it's just making it that much crisper and just makes it like that much, like sort of jumps off my core. Ooh. Shucks. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can try to do these full ones. But basically, you see how I'm just going back and forth? But if I start to play with it a little bit, see how my arm is out here on this one? But here. as I'm sending it back, I'm curling it back into me. I don't think I have a good angle for this. Oh, nice, Dorothy. Yeah, stirring the pot. Well, that would make sense. The obvious hoop names I like. The unobvious ones I kind of like, I don't know. Okay. So we got just enough time. I'm going to do one more of these. Okay, we're going to do one more because this is the classic, oops. This will be the classic, how do you... I'm two. All right, we're going to do one last little thing. It's a very tricky thing. And this is the kickstart, okay? So I'm going to, hopefully, this might be something that looks better on replay than live. But I'm going to try to use the bird's eye down there, which is the camera in the corner, with my version of the kickstart. Now, there's a million ways that you could do this. Okay, so I'm going to try to send the hoop to the left. I'm going to be sending it to the left, so I'm going to go counterclockwise from me. That's what I'm going to do. So because I'm doing that, my right foot is underneath the hoop and is like pretty high up on the hoop, because eventually it's going to get all the way to my ankle, so it's pretty high up on my hoop. And then I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to put it in front, okay? And so then I'm going to set myself up, and depending on your hoop, your mileage may vary here, but I'm going to push, and what's going to happen is the hoop's going to come off of this front foot, the foot that's outside the hoop. It's going to come off of that. It's going to roll off of that and create momentum, okay? So I'm here, I'm holding the hoop on my right foot. I'm trying to go to the left, but it's on my right foot right now. My left foot steps forward, okay? And then I'm going to push this forward enough, and then what's going to happen is it's going to create momentum on the hoop. The hoop is going to spin around, and then I'm going to use my left foot to pop it back up, kind of like a soccer ball. So I'll show you. It's going to go around, up. Oops, of course. That would have been embarrassing. No, you have to know how to leg hoop to get this really working in my version. There are others that don't require it. We'll show you kind of one. Well, actually, I'll show you one right now. Actually, before I forget it. But this is if I skip the whole floor completely. Boom. And that might be easier than the actual, kickstart to the legs. So if I'm doing that, when the foot is on my right, the hoop's on my right foot, I'm going to the left. My left foot comes forward. I'm going to create some spin, but I'm also going to pull my foot up, and that's going to pull the hoop to my hand. Okay, so that's if I want to be outside the hoop circle. And if I want to be inside the hoop circle, like I want to go into leg hooping, right foot in, left foot out. I'm going to spin it around, pop it up to the knees, and then I'm in business. And then just in case some of you are having trouble, moving this back and around, I'll do it going the other way. Now my left foot is underneath the hoop, is inside the hoop, but underneath it, if that makes sense. I hope you can maybe see what's happening there. And then my right foot is in front of that. And then I'm going to kick, and that's going to create momentum on the hoop. If I want to do it straight to the off body, I'll just grab it with my hand. I need to work on that one. Boom. But if I want to create leg current, which I do, my left foot now is behind, it's inside the hoop, underneath the hoop. Right foot is forward. I'm going to push against it to create good momentum that I did just then. All right, here we go. Boom. Boom. Okay. Probably more than you wanted to know. All right, so we'll move into just a free hoop now. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see. Maybe we'll play a couple of songs. Okay, I don't know. Maybe go. Thank you guys for joining me. We are going to be doing a Sunday jam. We will be doing a Sunday jam. Hopefully Tara will be able to join us. Yeah, be careful, Dorothy. We need you. Okay, we're gonna bring it down. I doubt anyone is still here, but if you are, thank you for joining us tonight. And we're gonna go to some kind of more chill music and then call it a night. Thank you guys. guys for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate your support, and especially for all 6 of you or 7 or whoever it was that hung out through that crazy wild opening. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it, and I will be back full strength on Sunday, 11 o'clock.